Hello everyone, welcome back to a new Play Xin Zhao every day until the release of Zaahen in Wild Rift. Today we have a Singe top, Zed mid, Kaisa and Lux dual lane. Singed on the top lane is always interesting. I don't think Singe is like a super duper weak champion. He can be a lane bully, but usually it's based on the enemy's ignorance. I mained Singed for a little while actually. One of the YouTubers, FBG Wild Rift, FBG Wild Rift, he plays like amazing Singed and Shen. And I learned a lot from his videos, including how he used Singe's Q to clear the wave extremely quickly in order to get level 2 and always surprise the enemy just because you were one level up. You're double the enemy team's level and just he'll be able to pick up first blood. And with the buff from a while ago, Singe's dash into his flip is actually really strong in terms of team fighting, so I don't scoff at Singe at all. Zed in the mid lane is balanced out by the AP damage from our Singed and our Kaisa. Unfortunately, our Kaisa has fallen victim to the enemy Samira, while our Lux was able to pick up the kill. So Kaisa is very rough in the current meta. Yes, she's able to build on hit items with her passive, but she's just a little too short range. Range is everything in terms of marksman champions. That's why Caitlyn has been dominant for quite a while, but now I think Caitlyn's damage just simply fell off. So no matter how long her reach is, she is not strong enough to compete against the other champions in the current meta. Varus, for example, has very long reach with his Q. So here, I go for an early gank. I didn't even get the scuttle because I saw an angle where the enemy team is low. And I know it's really difficult to kill a Samira, especially with his ability up. So instead, I focus on the Veigar and to get us slightly ahead and give some lane pressure for the dual lane first. However, the Amumu of the enemy team actually managed to get the scuttle during that time. He skipped one of his camp or something in order to get that scuttle, and I want to path up to the other scuttle, but I saw Yasuo pushing the lane up, so here I waited, but it seems like he has ward in the bush, but we managed to force a flash out of him. So that's actually really good. I didn't use any of my skills and just baited out his little flash. And here Amumu tried to contest the scuttle again, but I managed to get level 5. However, I don't think I really win against Amumu because his consistent damage versus my burst damage is just not enough. And I won't be able to kill him fast enough either. And here Yone is pretty low, and I was hoping Singe could push the lane up. However, the minion timing is not perfect, and so I just say, okay, this is not a good time. Let's retreat. It's difficult to dive a Yone. If he ults or he hits his Q2, we just die under tower, and especially with Amumu hovering, the timing is long gone. And since my camp has respawned, might as well just go for it. Once again, got my Sheen and Phage combo, you know, my favorite. I get some movement speed when I attack, and Sheen is just a very good power spike, mini power spike, for how many abilities Xin Zhao has. So one of the very curious things about Xin Zhao that I tried in practice multiple times is that his Q, his first ability, his enhanced auto attack, does not trigger Trinity Force, which is not the case for champions like Camille. However, supposedly this is how it works for most of the items then. It doesn't work the same with Spear of Sojin. Spear of Sojin triggers every time Xin Zhao uses his ability. So I'm not too sure how it works or why it doesn't really work with Trinity Force, but I guess it's some sort of balancing. Still, it's a little annoying. We managed to pick up the Yasuo at the mid lane where the Zed is, because the Yasuo just overstepped a little too much. He's too excited with his wave clear, and Zed and I were able to pick that kill up. And here I see that Kaisa is actually going in very deep, and she's not able to get out. But she managed to get one kill, and then I almost picked up the Veigar. However, his flash was up at the same time as mine, and he managed to flash away. And here Amumu surprised me with a flash ulti. I didn't expect him to be here, I thought he'd be somewhere else, and his flash ulti just completely got me off guard and got me killed. So the situation is kind of equalized, and he once again got the scuttle. And it's not exactly very good for me. I am up in kills, but losing this death kind of slows down my tempo, my jungle clear, and my pathing that I could have helped gank mid lane or something. So overall, you know, death is always not good, but it's still very winnable. This game is actually still very winnable, and this game specifically, I was trying something with the build. I'm not looking to build Thunder Sky, but because the enemy team has Samira, Yasuo, and Yone, that means there's a lot of crit champions on the enemy team, which means Randuin's Omen is going to get a lot of value. A great flip from Singed, and Yone does not stand a chance to stay alive here. And immediately, because Singed is still pushing up the wave, I counter the jungle and actually got the Crux. And that's all we need. There's no need to stay, especially with objective spawning. It's better for us to reset, get our mana and health back, and start to contest for the objectives. Since Amumu seems to be the biggest problem right now, and since I'm going to buy Randuin's later, I decided to go buy the AP boots first, just so that I can survive Amumu a little longer. But now, thinking about it in hindsight, it's really only for Veigar, because Amumu does true damage if you stay in fight either way, and Xin Zhao, you probably will be in range of his Cursed Touch. So once again, we go for the better objective, which is the Rift Herald. No one's really here to help me, but Singed is keeping his lane occupied, and Zed is solo contesting the dragon compared to the entire enemy team. He does have a lot of escape tools, but I'm not sure it's really worth it, and he nearly died. However, with that distraction, I'm able to put the Herald at mid, and if Zed played a little safer, he might be able to be here to share the gold. But we still got first turret, and I can return to my jungle clear, and we didn't really lose anything. Singed greedily looks for our blue buff and takes it, so that he has more sustain in lane. Everything is actually looking really good right now, and there's not much to say apart from Kai'Sa being one of the struggling champions in this current meta, and I believe I could have just went for the red buff and my Wind Becomes Lightning would have killed all of the raptors in that clear, so this small bit of time wasted, and unfortunately the Singed actually died with our blue buff. And Yone has to be able to pick something up, and Yone is a mid-game champion, so he's going to slowly fall back into the game. The enemy team overall has more scalers, while we only have Lux and Kai'Sa that will scale, and Lux is a support, and unless she hits some very good roots, she won't help too much. Kai'Sa will need to accelerate her growth a little bit more. And here I commit a daylight robbery against the Amumu, dodges his Q, and gets out immediately, because there's no reason for me to stay. And I see Yasuo coming for me as well. I do not need to fight. There's no objectives coming up. There's no reason for me to fight, so I do not. And then we see Sin just beginning to build something weird. He first built Liandry's Torment, which I guess it's understandable, especially against a tank like Amumu. It can be very useful. But from what he's building right now, it seems he's building for Dead Man's Plate. That in itself is not exactly a problem, but for me, this means he doesn't know where he wants to go with this build. He's going like half tank, half AP, but there's no synergy between the two items. And here, I tried to catch the Yasuo off guard, only to be caught by the Amumu, who tried to ult me, but because I ulted at the same time, and I knocked him into the Singed instead. But that brief window of displacement allowed me to pick up a kill on Veigar completely for free. So we're actually 5-1-1 right now, which is actually very good on Xin Zhao. This means I'm actually using the early game power to its maximum potential. And Singed once again wants the blue buff, and there's nothing I can do to stop him. But well, I'm not sure if he's utilizing the things as well as it can be. Our Zed is kind of abusing the Zed power of being extremely frustrating to play against, and I'm looking to catch this Yasuo off guard. So immediately dash in, hit the Wind Becomes Lightning, use my ultimate to do more damage, and he was about to escape. But then, because he hit a double knockup, he decided to come back in, and that was his grave mistake, because there's no way he can out-damage me and Zed at the same time. He does a lot of damage, but not enough to kill us both. Here, I'm just waiting for the Scuttle to spawn, just to deny it from Amumu since he took it away so many times already, and then I fell back. Again, no reason to stay, no reason to fight. I saw Singed rushing up to the Amumu, he's really itching for a fight, and I think that's a big problem for the people in this elo. And so I just pinged retreat. I'm not looking to fight. There's no reason for me to fight. I saw Samira roaming around my jungle. I don't want her to steal all my camps, especially the red buff, so immediately I teleport in and just go for my red buff first. We spot her at mid, and so I can slowly do my camps, and I'm getting ready for the elemental dragon because I do not want to give the enemy team soul. So getting the second dragon, just peace of mind. You don't have to contest the third dragon if not needed. However, I did get a little too greedy here. I'm chasing it down the Veigar, and the Veigar actually brought us to a magical journey all the way up to the top lane. This is actually such great play by Veigar, even though he died. He wasted so much of our time, and here I should immediately go back and try to contest for dragon. However, because I saw there's 3 people here fighting the Yone, I actually stopped my recall and got ready to help, which is a grave mistake. There is no reason for me to not base, because 3 people versus 1 Yone, they definitely got it. There's no need for me to be there. And instead, I wasted 5 seconds of recall time, and the enemy team got the dragon for free. If I was here 5 seconds earlier, I would have saved this Lux. I would have got a kill on Samira, and well, everything could have been a lot better. And now Samira is just roaming around, wasting my time. She flashes, and I have to waste my own flash to contest just to get the kill. And here Yasuo tries to save his Samira, but he is no match for me at this current moment. He's 1 level down, and I don't want him to get my Krugs, so I try my best to contest. He's got the flash in, however seems like he's going to be taking my small Krugs. I'm not really intent on fighting him, I was completely fine with him leaving. But since he's staying to fight, uses his flash, I use my ulti, and Lux from downtown snipes him out of the air. And so it's still towards our favor, but we lost 2 dragons, so we have to contest for the last one for soul. That is why my play, going top and just not stopping my own recall, was such a big misplay. Because overall, we gave a chance for the enemy team to crawl back. They got a kill on Lux, whom I would have been able to save if I was there. If I was 5 seconds earlier. It takes about 10 seconds for me to get from base to where, not even 10 seconds, to get from base to where Lux was. And here Xin accidentally stole my Gromp, which is annoying. But yeah, that is just a huge misplay, and this time I lose the smite battle against Amumu. And Zed is in a little bit of trouble, so I'm here to bail him out. And just hit the Amumu a couple times, stun him before I try to escape. I'm not looking for a hard engage, and I know that Zed has a lot of abilities to get out. And I'm baiting the Yasuo for an overstep, and he once again does. Immediately ulti, but this time I realize my damage is not high enough, and Amumu is becoming a huge threat. That's why I fall back and try to get the Samira first. The turret falls, and I am brought dangerously low, and our Kai'Sa is only rotating now. Our Xin is being a nuisance to the enemy team, and Kai'Sa is able to take advantage of that and actually got a double kill off of it. Which is amazing, because we do want Kai'Sa to get fed. If Kai'Sa is fed, she can be extremely good against this enemy team comp. She can outrange all the mid-range ADCs, which is Yasuo, Yone, and Samira. And if she has the Blade of the Rune King, she would be able to completely shut down the Amumu. So I immediately start pinging Baron, and because this is the right play, the enemy ADC and junglers are dead. So this is just the best play, and I'm so glad that Kai'Sa actually followed. And everything is honestly looking up for us right now. I have 7 kills, 4 assists, and 1 death. And we're gonna get Baron, and we can slowly tighten the noose around the enemy's neck. Once again, I'm able to steal the enemy team's jungle, because it's not just about getting yourself ahead, it's also keeping the enemy teams behind, especially in this game. I bought Stoneplate just for an extra bit of survivability, since I am on the front line a lot and Xin is kind of being annoying. And I don't know if you caught that, Xin has brought Liandry's Torment, Dead Man's Plate, into anti-shield. I'm not sure there's any shielding on the enemy team apart from Amumu with Stoneplate, whom honestly doesn't really matter, just don't fight him. He has the ability to just flip him away while he has great peel to kind of throw one of the enemies into us, or throw the enemies out, because the enemy team is actually a very heavy dive comp with Amumu, Yasuo, and Yone. Honestly, everyone in their team except for Veigar are people that wants to dive in. So all Xin Zhao has to do is protect our carry, which is Kai'Sa. And our Lux is able to pick up a couple of kills, and our Baron buff is actually running out. So far, we've lost 1 turret, and I've successfully pushed 1. And now I'm able to get this inhibitor as well, even though this Yone put up a valiant effort. He's just no match for me. I have way too many items, and he's 1 level down. So I wasn't too afraid to fight him. And my teammates are going for the dragon, which is completely fine because I'm already here. I can do the inhibitor while they do the dragon. It would be better if someone were to split push right now to have gotten the bottom turret as well. But our Kai'Sa based and she's farming the mid lane, which is, I guess it's better than not just doing nothing and farming my blue. Upon my exit, I'm able to get the wolves and set the enemy team behind a little bit more. So this is where the mistake happened. I brought Amaranth's Twin Guard and Randuin's Omen. That's 2 defensive items. That's a huge mistake. During that time, I was thinking that the Amaranth's Twin Guard tenacity is going to be very, very useful against Amumu because of his CC, and also against Veigar. But I think the problem is now I lack a lot of damage. The only item I have that has damage is Trinity Force and from Sterix Gauge. While there are no items to scoff at, I should have bought something with a little bit more oomph. Because now I'm going to lose simply because I do not have enough attack power. And I think this fight is going to be apparent. I'm 2 levels below Yasuo. Yasuo is 2 levels below me, but he's still destroying me simply because I am running out of damage. And this is not a Xin Zhao problem. This is just my choice to buy Amaranth's Twin Guard. There's no reason to survive if you're not going to win the fight. And I was getting out damaged. So Amaranth's Twin Guard is the biggest mistake I made in this game. And unfortunately, my teammates are all dying in the top lane. For no reason either. The dragon is not spawning yet. There's 20 seconds left. So all you have to do is really just contest a little bit of vision. And if the enemy team overextends, you fight. We have turrets. We have turret advantage. We have severe turret advantage in this game. And my teammates are not using it. And they just suddenly all die. Four of them all died around the same spot. And now Baron is up for grabs. If the enemy team does it fast, I won't be able to help, because just because their ADC is dead doesn't mean they have no ADC. Because remember, they have Yasuo and Yone. They are sort of an ADC, especially against Baron Asher, this type of objective. And here, this is just bullshit. I really fucking hate how the ability is bigger than the bush, but when he casts it, you can't see it because he's hiding in the bush. It's so stupid. And I got caught because of it, and they forced my flash. I'm able to get out, and I'm looking to buy some anti-heal and anti-tank, just from Mortal Reminder. And I'm trying my best to slowly approach, but if you notice right now, Zed is actually in our bot lane, farming. There's no wave there for him to catch just now, by the way. The wave was already gone. Instead of contesting for Baron, Zed went down there to do absolutely nothing. And then he picks up a kill on Yone, but we lost Baron. Our Singe, he's not tanky, and he's not doing enough damage. That's why he was just running around the team, the enemy team. Liandry's Torment works, but if you have that combining with Rylai's to slow the enemy, you become a complete nuisance just by running around. You do a lot of damage, you slow the enemy, it makes the enemy engage very difficult. But right now, with Dead Man's Plate, he can run into the enemy really quick. And he does a little bit of damage. A jack of all trades, a master of none, when Singed's kit is already extremely weak. So slowly, our lead is actually falling away. The enemy teams are pushing it, inching ever closer to winning. And this is what I mean by the enemy team having a very strong dive comp. There's really nothing the Lux could have done there. Yasuo was just dancing around us. And that's very dangerous, especially for our ADCs. And now I have to contest for the Elder Dragon. But my Zed is basing, and my Kai'Sa is running to do my blue buff. I burn so many abilities here, and I have no follow-up from my team. Because when the enemy team has Baron Nashor, We got 2 kills. Oh, we got 1 kill. They got 2. When we can contest for Elder Dragon, our Kaisa goes to the opposite side of the map, farms the blue buff, and our Zed, full HP, faces in the mid lane.
Turret lost.
And now they're dying to Elder Dragon because there's no way to defend against this late Baron. It's post 18 minutes. The Baron Asher is buffed, and we don't have enough wave clear. Xin doesn't have enough damage to clear the wave. Kaisa doesn't have enough damage to clear the wave. Zed has no wave clear. I'm trying my best to use my ulti to dash away the minions, but it's no use. I played this game so well. And everyone on my team did everything possible to throw it all away. I don't care about Galio's Aegis. I still lose. I still lost rank. I'm fucking stuck in this rank forever. Look at this fucking stat. It is horrendous. I just want to play the game.